The police have reopened their investigation into whether Todd Barclay secretly recorded staff in his electorate office, a controversy that has ended the National MP's political career, or is in the process of doing so. He's not seeking re-election, of course, and the Prime Minister, Bill English, remains under pressure over his role in the employment dispute. Certainly a phrase that's being widely used in his former Clutha Southland electorate that went badly wrong. Last year a police investigation was launched after a Gore office staffer laid a complaint, but that hit a brick wall when Mr Barclay refused to cooperate. Here's our political editor, Jane Patterson.
Todd Barclay fell on his sword last week and announced he would not seek re-election in September. National's been hoping that would bring an end to the matter, but today police announced they've relaunched their investigation after looking back at a range of comments made and information that came to light last week. They've already started talking to a number of people they believe have relevant information. The Prime Minister, Bill English, says he will cooperate with the investigation and hopes it will put the dispute to rest once and for all.
There's been several attempts to resolve this personal dispute, and I would hope this does.
Do you know more now than you did when you made your first statement?
Look, I'm not going to add to the comments I've already made.
A close supporter and friend of Mr Barclay's, Invercargill MP Sarah Dowie, was asked whether she'd be advising him to cooperate with the new police investigation.
Look, I haven't spoken to Todd about the police inquiry, so no, I haven't advised him anything with respect to that.
Do you think he should cooperate?
Yeah, well, it'll be up to him to take legal advice and then to go from there.
In Parliament, the New Zealand First Leader Winston Peters asked Mr English about various statements he's made over the past week.
Which statement is he standing by today? Is it? It's never been established that the alleged incident around the recording actually occurred, or it was avoidable, it did not need to have all these implications, or I don't know what happened.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, as I said, those statements were not made in my ministerial capacity, and in the light of police reopening their investigation, I don't intend to add to it.
Then it was the Labour leader Andrew Little's turn.
Bearing in mind his own statement as Prime Minister that ministers should be truthful, can he be straight with me? Does he know if any person suggested Todd Barclay destroy the tapes that were the subject of a now reopened police investigation, and if so, who was that person?
Insofar as there may be Prime Ministerial responsibility, Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I certainly have no ministerial responsibility for that, although that leader has responsibility for 85 free foreign workers.
Undeterred, Andrew Little had more questions about the substance of the recordings.
Given the contents of the tapes have now been revealed to concern Todd Barclay and sex and drug matters, does he accept the tapes exist, and when was he aware of their contents?
Insofar as there may be Prime Ministerial responsibility, Right
Mr
Honourable
Speaker,
Prime Minister.
as I've said, I've no comment to add to what comment's been made, but the member should, I would hope, be as forensic with his own statements about the free foreign labour and the idea that it was nothing to...
Order.
Mr Little says Mr English needs to be more forthcoming with the public.
This is a Prime Minister now and a government that is desperate to duck for cover and try to absolve themselves of responsibility. I don't think they can. This has been around for 18 months. It involves a National Party MP and allegations against him, and I think a failure of leadership on the part of not just the party but ministers as well, who ought to have known better.
The police say the new investigation will be overseen by a senior detective. They say at this stage they can't put a time frame on how long it may take. From Parliament for Checkpoint, Jane Patterson.